Ms. Hyman, you're here today to finally prove to the defendant, Mr. Brown, and his family that he is the biological father of your 4-year-old son, Landon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brown, you are adamant that you are not Landon's father and say you won't do a thing for the child since he's not yours.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hyman.
Yes, Your Honor.
What has Mr. Brown done for your son?
He has done nothing as far as no diapers, no wipes, no clothes, no visit, no type of affection.
Your Honor, I to be honest with you, I shouldn't have to do anything if I'm asking for a DNA test.
Your Honor, he has not asked for a DNA test. As far as anything, he would say, I'm not taking care of child unless I get a DNA test. And he really does not tell me. He tells family members. He tells my cousins, my mom, his mom.
So he has never directly asked you for a DNA test? You disagree, Mr. Brown? You say you have?
No.
Yes, I have. Why should I do anything until I need proof? I need proof, Your Honor.
And where do your doubts stem from?
Because of past experiences that I have had, you know, of me going through a situation where I asked for a DNA test and I found out the child wasn't mine.
Okay, so you've had a past experience. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly is your doubt based on?
Because from
None.
Yes.
None.
If
None.
they come to me saying that he's
like
another man's baby,
none.
and then 2 months later,
None.
then it's mine, what would you do?
So
Your Honor,
people are
none.
coming to you and saying it's another man's baby.
Yes.
You're hearing these rumors.
Yes.
When you were in a relationship with her, did you catch her cheating?
No.
Were you suspicious?
No. I
Your
was
Honor,
staying with him, Your
come on.
Honor. He
Your
drove,
Honor.
Your Honor,
like I said,
he drove me around.
From the past experience, when I had asked for a DNA test.
She's not talking about the past experience. She's talking about the current experience with our son.
Listen, if you went through one situation, if you went through one situation,
it doesn't matter about that situation. She's talking about the current situation
if you went through one
with
situation,
Landon.
Your Honor, and you find out the child is not yours, and then you going through another, you will not go through that twice.
Okay, if you would go through it twice.
My point is, in addition to that, we've established that you've had a previous situation.
And I walked
What
on.
I'm asking you.
You a whole lie. We
to
never
that,
walked. You ain't used no condom with me, but one time, boy,
Honor.
why is you sitting right here lying
Your
like that?
Honor,
I wish you would stop lying.
You're saying you never slept with her unprotected.
Lie.
Is that your submission to this court?
The whole lie. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Pigs gonna fly through this window right now. You are lying.
Come on now.
Come on now.
All right.
You're sounding like a liar.
Hold on.
I've been asking for a DNA test for 4
You
years.
a lie.
Why I haven't
No,
got
you're
one?
not. No, you haven't.
Why I haven't got
No,
one?
you
I have
haven't.
came to you plenty of times and said.
And what have I told you?
came to you
If
plenty
you
of
want a
times,
DNA
Hyman,
test,
and
you
asked
don't
for a
have to
DNA
come to me and
test.
get no DNA test. Go
Let's
put yourself on
talk
child
one at
support.
a time. Let's talk one at a time. I want you to explain to this court when, how did you ask Ms. Hyman for a DNA test?
Asked for a DNA test when it was brought to my attention.
Lie.
If I already went down there to take a DNA test, you really don't need me to go down there to go get a DNA test. All you got to do is just go down there, take the child down there to do a DNA test. Correct?
Well, you would also have to submit DNA.
So I've already submitted my DNA, so why it's so hard to go do a DNA test?
So have you submitted your DNA?
I've been submitting my DNA.
Your Honor, he never submitted DNA towards my case. It's towards our son Landon. He never went down there. Just like you went down there with your other child and put yourself on child support. You can go down there with this child and put yourself on child support with this one. I don't have to be with you to go put yourself on child support. You can go do it yourself. All they're gonna do is when he go down there and submit his swab, they're gonna send me a letter in the mail and telling me to bring me and my son down there.
Well, you all are saying the same thing, but I'm just not understand why there was never a DNA test.
Your Honor, that's the same
Your
thing
Honor,
I've been asking. If I did a DNA test.
Listen. I want to talk about this child.
Correct.
Please. I want to talk about this child.
And I told her I wasn't doing nothing until I get a DNA test.
And that's fine.
That's all I said.
Right, but you did not go down to the court again as it relates to Landon.
I've been down there.
You have?
No, you did not.
I've been down there.
Explain to me what happened when you went back to court.
When I went down there, I needed her to go down there.
No, you don't.
I needed her to go down there.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Multiple
Your Honor.
times.
Okay, the bottom line is then.
No, you did not.
Okay, hold on, Ms. Hyman. If he was confused and he thought he needed you to go down there.
He never came to me and said, Your Honor, he never came to me and said, well, both of us go down there together to get this.
Never said that.
He never said that.
Right, I'd like to hear from your witness, ma'am. Please step up to the podium. State your name.
Samantha Tart.
Ms. Tart, you are Mr. Brown's mother. And what would you like to add to this situation? Do you believe little Landon, 4-year-old Landon, is your son's child?
I have my doubts.
You do. And why do you doubt?
Because when I was at work, someone came to me and told me I need to get a blood test because his particular relative was saying that it was his child. So that's where the doubt came in, Your Honor.
So you were at work and someone came up to you and said, I think you should encourage your son to get a blood test.
Yes, sir.
Because
yes, Your Honor.
It's okay. I have a lot of masculine energy, don't I? He encouraged you to have your son get a DNA test.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he heard or knew firsthand.
He knew firsthand.
He didn't know
that
firsthand.
someone else was claiming this child as their own.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, my whole thing, the young man that she's claiming that knows, that said they knows firsthand, I didn't start messing with this man till the end of February, beginning of March. This man was not nowhere near me and him.
So why, you know, the rumor was he was the father before anybody even told me I was the father?
You was a whole lie. I told you from the day I got pregnant,
That's
boy.
the story,
You come on, man.
That's the story,
Mr. Brown, I'm gonna let you believe what you want to believe, but when it comes out today that Landon is 99.99% that he's yours, I want you to step up.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. All right, so quick question. When was Landon born?
October the 19th.
When were you all last involved
The week of
sexually?
Christmas.
Christmas week.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you all stop being intimate and you had relations with someone else?
Me and this young man, we really never stopped being intimate. We still dip and dab every now and then. Your Honor, we still dip and dab.
Hold on, wait a minute. Listen.
We still dip and dab.
No.
We still dip and dab. I have text messages to prove what even on my birthday, where you call, for instance, on my birthday, he inboxed me and said, "Oh, I will give you good birthday sex if you don't have anybody to give it to you." This is May 1st. This is May 1st. But if I'm not the woman that you want to be with, why are you steady trying to dip and dab with
No, Your Honor, listen, hold on, wait a minute.
Okay, listen. Before we get to all that, I was actually amused by the way your mother was looking at you.
Right.
When it was determined that you were still inboxing her. Were you intimate with anyone else over the course of the next several weeks?
No. I was staying with him. I did not have no intimacy with no other person. I was staying with him. I didn't start sleeping with nobody else until the end of February, beginning of March. I did not start sleeping with nobody until the end of February.
So the bottom line is you had sexual relations with him during Christmas.
Yep.
Now the baby was born in October.
During Christmas, during the year of 2010, we still dip and dab.
She was dipping and dabbing in something else too.
But hold on.
If you think I was, no, you was dipping and dabbing in this.
Hold on, Miss Hyman. When you were dipping and dabbing with him in December, were you also with somebody else? You said January, February, or February, March?
In February and March.
In February, March.
I was already pregnant then.
But you said Landon was born in October.
October.
And so if you count back all the way to December, that's almost 10 full months.
Correct.
And then the other guy was around 8+ months.
About 8 months, not really 8+ months. About 8 months. I was already pregnant then when I started dipping and dabbing with this other young man.
Doesn't add up, Your Honor.
Bottom line is, 8 months or so before the child was born, you were having sex with another person. And then 10 months before the child was born, you were having sex with Mr. Brown. You don't feel there's a chance that it could be the other man's child?
Doesn't add up, Your Honor. It doesn't add up, Your Honor.
When it comes down to the case of my son looks nothing like this other man. This other man is 5'2". My son doesn't have no facial features, no anything as this other young man. My son has the exact same birthmark on the same side as this young man. My son has the same lips, the ears, the eyes, the nose. He has my nose, the chin.
Your Honor, looks don't mean nothing. You can think about a person so much that a child can come out looking like that person. But I'm
okay. But my whole thing, Your Honor, if you can hang around
I don't know that.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor,
I appreciate that faulty evidence.
Your Honor, if we was beefing with each other, how can we hang around each other for my child to look like you if we wasn't around each other? How can that happen?
So you resent the fact, Ms. Hyman, that he even questions it all?
No, I don't resent the fact. I don't resent the fact that he questions it. I mean, I can
You believe it's substantiated?
I can understand why he questions it.
Okay, so you can understand why he questions it.
I can understand why he questions it, but at the same time, he shouldn't question the fact when he sees my son. Everything that my son has is just like this young man.
Your Honor, I've been through this once. I'm not going through it again.
I want to hear from the plaintiff's witness. Ma'am, please step up to the podium. State your name.
Demetria Coleman.
And you are Ms. Hyman's
Mother.
Ma'am, what would you like to add to this case?
First of all, I really respect Mr. Brown and his mother. We have been very close friends from the day that I met them. I love him as if he was my own child. But that being said, I love my daughter. Me and my daughter have a relationship, and I've asked her on numerous occasions, is this his child? Could it be somebody else's child? And she has told me every time, no. Yes, there has been the questions of, he wants a DNA test, And after going through this for 3 years, I was looking at TV one day and I was like, you know what? I called Ms. Tart. I said, I'm calling paternity court. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because I feel like every child deserves both parents. And I know Mr. Brown would be a great parent. And in my heart, I believe it. In my heart, my soul, I believe that Mr. Brown is my grandson's father.
On that same token, though, with that being said, if he is turned out to be our grandson today, we have lost 4 years because we've been asking for this for 4 years. So I've asked, my husband, we've all asked for this DNA test, so including her mother. So this is something that we've been asking, and it's like taking years from all of us away from someone that could have been our grandchild.
Because neither one of them would step up to the plate and take care of business.
What the obvious question is why has it taken so long?
Us beefing with each other, us not being on the same page. It could be some times where I might be busy and he's busy. If I'm not busy, he might be out of town.
And I was always on the road, Your Honor.
So he was always out of town.
When I asked for it, so that tells you I have asked for a DNA test.
You have not asked for a DNA test. Your mother asked, not you.
Listen, you all are never going to agree on that.
We're not.
You just aren't.
We're not.
My concern is I'm trying to think about this young, innocent little boy.
Yes.
For 4 years.
Yes.
My son is 4 years old. I couldn't imagine for 4 years a child growing up and not knowing who his father is.
I take care of my kids by myself. They live faithfully. They eat. They sleep. They got clothes on their back, a roof over their head, lights, water. I do it by myself. So it doesn't really matter.
I think it matters for Landon.
It matters for Landon, but not for me.
Yeah. So he doesn't think of Mr. Brown or...
No, when Mr. Brown comes in the house to pick up our other son, he'll dap him up, pat him on the head.
So wait, you come pick up the other son, but you don't pick up Landon?
Yes. You want me to tell you why? Because the reason why, because I haven't had a DNA test, all right? The other son, I have gotten a DNA test and found out he was mine, so I takes care of him.
All right, so for 4 years, you've been coming in and out of the house.
Yes.
You all still know each other, talk to each other, see each other regularly, but you couldn't figure out how to get a DNA test done on this child.
That's what
All
I
right,
have asked.
I can't accept that, but it's reality. Mr. Brown, I have to ask you, what are your hopes? Do you hope Landon is your son?
Yes, I really want to know, Your Honor, because like my mom said, if he is mine, we have lost 4 years. I'm not a bad man. I don't not try to just put him off like that. No, I never do that. If he's mine, I take care. I handle my responsibilities as a man. That's what I do.
And I never took that from him. I never took the fact that he was a man, the fact that he take care of his responsibility. I never took that from him.
All right, so Ms. Hyman, I have to ask you this. If Mr. Brown is the father, your claims will be substantiated. If he's not, what will you do?
There's no doubt that he's not. He isn't the father. I know he is.
Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. I'm ready for the results. Yeah. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Hyman versus Brown, when it comes to 4-year-old Landon Hyman, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Brown, you are not the father.
It's okay. It's okay.
You all right, Mr. Brown?
Right. Stop crying.
Ms. Hyman,
Yes, Your Honor.
you assured this court that there were no other possibilities.
I really felt that he was his son.
Are you okay, Mom?
I am.
Were you hoping that...
I was.
Ms. Jarquin, you opened your case because you want to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Burns, that he fathered your 4-month-old son, Myvan. You say Mr. Burns abandoned you while you were pregnant, refused to sign the birth certificate, and has left you to struggle financially. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Mr. Burns, you state Ms. Jarquin was already pregnant when you met her, and that is the reason she slept with you on the first day you met, because she wanted to trap you. So, Ms. Jarquin, you say Mr. Burns has done nothing for Myvan?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Explain.
I have attempted, after my son was born, to reach out to him to just buy simple things, diapers, water, milk, whatever my son may need at the time. He has yet, to this day, provide me any type of financial help at all with my son.
Your Honor, I haven't done much because I don't believe that Myvan's my son. You know, I don't believe it, first of all, but I'm still trying to do things like, you know, I invite them over to come and, you know, chill, watch movies, or, you know.
You don't invite me over. I tell you.
And why are you inviting him over if he's not your child to chill and watch movies?
I mean, she often, you know.
4-month-old baby don't want to watch a movie. 4-month-old baby.
It's not because, it's not so much of him. It's not so much of him.
You need to stop lying, bro. You know you haven't been there for my sister at all. I've been with her 24/7 doing your job.
You know, it don't matter.
You doing it. You know that's your son.
It don't matter
you
about
just
the
lying
money.
because you don't want to step up and be a man to it.
It don't matter about the money. That's my family
Mr.
over here that I take
Mr.
care of.
Diaz,
You know what I'm saying?
please
I take care of them by
stand
myself.
Yeah, I sure will.
Step to the podium. What is your testimony, sir? What are you saying?
I'm saying that I've been with my sister 24/7. I was there since she met him. And ever since they got together and I found out that she was pregnant, she said it in front of him. So he been knew she was pregnant because he moved in with us. But yeah, I seen her taking care of him. She will buy things for him all the time.
And then I did,
And I would get mad at
tell
her,
her
don't
that
buy
I don't
nothing for him.
believe.
He needs to buy things for you. So he been knew she was pregnant. He just lying because he don't want to step up because he already got 2 kids with her. So, okay, so if you know what you was doing, all right, you need to step up to it, bro. You need to step up to the plate.
So hold on, I want
Good
to...
job. I make sacrifices that you should be making.
And first of all, you ain't got nothing to do because
taking care of yours.
You
Taking care of yours.
from the sideline and what she's telling you. She ain't telling you.
From what he's
I've
seen.
seen. It's what I've seen. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be here if I wasn't there, man.
Mr. Diaz, what have you done for Myvan thus far?
I've taken her to the hospital. I will help her pay the rent. I will help her pay the bills. I will get food for the house. And I will still take care of my son. Okay? And the fact she didn't even have a car at the time. She did not have a car at the time, and I found the money, and I got her car. And because of that, yes, I lost my truck, but it was a good sacrifice because at least she has something for my nephew. So I don't mind taking a taxi every day, as long as I know she's doing okay. So that's sacrifices that I wish he would do. But he doesn't want to do it. Well, you know what? I told him, worry about it. You got me. I'm happy to do it. I'm sorry?
It's not my son.
Dude, you don't want to step up to the plate. He looks just like you, man. He looks just like you. Everybody sees him, like, he looks just like Sean.
It's funny that he would sit here now today and saying that it's not his son. Why would he sit there and tell my family, oh yes, this is my son. I can see the resemblance. I mean, he's taking pictures in the bathroom with my son that he showed me afterwards. But that's not his son.
So you're saying the story changes?
Often, on and off, all the time. It's yes, I am, no, I'm not, yes, I am, no, I'm not.
What was the nature of your relationship? Were you in a committed relationship?
At first, Your Honor, when we first met, it was more so just talking. Then eventually it got to the physical part.
So how soon after you met were you intimate?
We did sleep the first day because we were talking prior to that.
So the first day you got together, you had sex?
Yes.
Was it protected sex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So how is it you can know for certain this isn't your child?
I have a timeline that I would like to show you of why.
This is your exhibit?
Yes.
Please step over. Explain to the court what this exhibit outlines.
Okay, so my first date going over her house was July 6th, and we had sex that night, you know.
All right, July 6th.
You know, and everything was cool. You know, she invited me to stay, You know, I stayed, and a couple weeks later, on the 27th, she tells me that she's pregnant 3 weeks later, you know? So my first thought...
So that makes sense, 3 weeks later?
Okay, so my first thought was, dang, that was quick. You know, she must have already been pregnant. You know, that was my first thought.
But I mean, if you have sex on July 6th, by July 27th, if the egg has been fertilized, then she could know.
September came, and she went to the doctor on the 14th. You know, the doctor tell her that she's 12 weeks and 6 days, right? 12 weeks and 6 days. I go back 12 weeks and 6 days. I come to find out that I only been knowing her 10 weeks. So that confirms my first thought. Oh, she already been pregnant, you know?
Okay.
See, that's...
So now that
And plus,
is
she had
the
a
doubt.
boyfriend when I first met her.
So when you first met her, she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So when you count back the 12 weeks from September 14th, 12 weeks and 6 days is pretty much 13 weeks.
Right.
Oh, we in June now.
We in June. I came in July.
Ms. Jarquin, were you dating another man in June?
No. What he's talking about, I had been left that relationship a month prior to me meeting him.
Were you intimate with that other man sometime in June?
No, Your Honor, I was not.
But if you're
Yeah,
looking
right.
at the calculation,
Your Honor, may I clarify
I came
something
to her
there?
house and I found, you know, condom wrappers and under her bed, and like she'd be on
Your
the phone
Honor.
with you know, other dudes and tell me, you know, saying just be quiet, you know.
That is a lie. How
So
are you
you
even
ain't
gonna
never
sit
tell
here
you
and
ain't
lie?
never tell me.
No,
You told me multiple times.
You're lying.
You told me multiple times to just.
How are you
know.
gonna sit there and lie? What he's
While she
talking
was
about,
pregnant.
when we found out that I was pregnant, we went right after I took the pregnancy test. They told me I was less than 6 weeks pregnant. That was the first time we went to the hospital because I told them, I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and go to the
Oh, I
hospital
didn't
because I
go-
know
I
they
didn't
do
go
a blood
there.
test. You was there with me. You was with me. And if I had the pictures
when I went
that
with
I
you,
took,
the doctor told you was 12 weeks and 6 days.
you're
I know
talking about.
because
You're
I
talking
went and
about.
texted her.
They gave me the paperwork, and I showed him where it was saying that I was less than 6 weeks pregnant. Basically, I was just early in the
You
pregnancy.
show who?
when it's that early in a pregnancy, it's hard for the doctors to really understand and give a window of conception because it's so early. That's why they usually have you wait a good 8 weeks or so before you even go for your first real doctor's appointment. My thing is if you were 4 or 5 or 5.5 weeks pregnant, that would have been before you ever met him. So I understand this testimony. Mr. Burns, you can step back to the podium. I do understand there how your calculations may lead you to doubt. What is your other doubt?
My other doubt is I knew she was having other partners, sex partners. You know.
How do you know this?
It was 2 other guys who at the job who I know, you know, personally. I actually spoke with them too. That
Who?
they slept
That's
with
what
her.
I want to know
They
is who?
slept with her.
Who
They told you this.
Yes. Yes.
has
Your Honor.
yet to tell me? I don't even know who he's
In
even
the
talking
same
about.
time frame that you were?
You know one.
Yeah, you have no proof of it,
Who
man.
who are you talking
You know.
about? Because you're bringing up people that are irrelevant to what we're going through now. It really is irrelevant. Like I don't
It's
even
not
see.
irrelevant because you was with him before. you was
Whatever
with him
happened
before
in my
me.
past has nothing to do with you. I didn't even know your name. I didn't even know you existed. So what are you talking
So why are you
about?
bringing up the past, man?
Like that doesn't make no sense.
Because it goes before. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? She was pregnant before me.
Your Honor, and I have some pictures over here. He's not the father, but I want you to see how is it that he likes to play daddy.
I'd like to see those. Jerome, will you hand me Ms. Jarquin's evidence, please?
Pictures that he's taking while I'm not looking. But that's a man that doubts, and that's his
The
son.
pictures you've submitted to the court are of beautiful Myvan and Mr.
But that's not his son.
Burns.
I was taking pictures so
Why?
I can confirm.
Why? That's
I was,
not your
I
son.
was
Why-
taking
why are you
pictures
gonna
so
say,
I
I
can
wanna
see,
take a picture
so
of
I
a
can
kid
see
that's
if he
not
looks
like
like
that.
me for myself because
You look
everybody,
pretty happy
everybody
there.
else says,
You look pretty
everybody
happy
else
there.
says that okay, he looks like me, but to me, he doesn't.
But Mr. Burns, if you just look at that shot, you look like a father looking lovingly at his son.
Yes.
I love kids. I love kids. You know what I'm saying? I have a son. I had a son that I lost. Me holding him right there, that brings something back to me. I lost my son, and he was that age. He was 3 months when he passed. you know? So that is something right there. Yeah, something right there. But that's me just looking, trying to see if he's my son.
I want to hear from your witness. Ma'am, please stand. Please state your name for the court.
Renatia Nobles.
Ms. Nobles, what relationship are you to Mr. Burns?
I am the mother of his children.
The mother of his children. You all have children together?
Yes.
And one on the way, I presume?
Yes.
What testimony do you have to add to this?
Apparently, she has doubts as well, because when we talked about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we met in person, and she said, if it is his, I just want to take full custody. I want to put him on child support. I don't want him to have anything to do with the baby.
She said, if
Your Honor, she said if, and then when you say if, that means you are unsure,
Your
correct?
Honor, we was both pregnant at the same time, pretty much. So that pretty much confirms how he was sleeping with both of us at the same time.
Right.
So let me just put that out there before I say this, okay?
He's not denying that.
No, I have produced some text messages where we were still texting each other, where he was pretty much acknowledging, oh, hey, my mom just said this. The queen has spoken. This is my boy. I know. And I even asked him, I said, hey, are you sure? Are you for real this time that you're really going to step up? Is my son finally going to have his father on his birth certificate? He was okay with it. He was okay with it. He even had pictures of him and the baby together that he was trying to see, I guess, if they look similar and whatnot. And he's like, oh, I can see this is, you know, that he has my eyes, he has my nose. But you saying you cut me off.
So it hurts you. Hold on. Ms. Jarquin, you're stating that you have no father's name on your child's birth certificate.
I do not, Your Honor.
And that hurts you. I can see that bothers you.
It does.
I have 3 other kids by one man that I started at the age of 16. If I knew then how to be a mother, how can now me having my 4th gonna change that? I know what it's like doing this all on my own. And it hurts me because I know he's able to, because I helped him find the job that he has now in hopes that he would help me, and has yet to do anything. And it hurts because every time I look at my son, knowing he's needing things and I can't provide off of $13 that I stay with every week, it hurts me because he could do something.
How can you stand there right there and just watch her, man, with no kind of emotions, knowing that she's struggling with your son?
Because I know where it's coming from.
Try to give up what I give up. That's when you call yourself a father,
boy,
bro.
that's not mine.
Let's
You know
get some order. Let's
You're
get
a coward,
some order.
man. That's what it is.
So it is what.
So,
that's
Ms.
what they do.
Jarquin, you're testifying. You said you're surviving off of $13 a week.
Pretty much that's what I have left over after I pay my bills, after I pay my car notes, after I pay everything that I need to support my child. Basically, that's what I'm left off before I even get my next check.
And you submitted a tape to the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that you could further explain what you've been going through.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to look at that now.
Things have been really, really hard for me financially. It hurts me to know that I'm coming home to face reality, basically. His father's out there doing what he does, and I'm over here wondering, how am I gonna get diapers? How am I gonna be able to afford the milk? Am I gonna be able to get him what he needs?
Yeah, what a great father, man. You're a great father, bro.
He is actually a great
Oh, he
father.
is?
Yes,
He
he
is?
is.
Wow.
He is.
Wow.
A very good one.
I would like to
So
see that.
the bottom line is, Ms. Jarquin, you're barely making it. And you open this case because you need help. And you believe Mr. Burns is your child's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you honestly don't know what you're gonna do. I mean, but for your brother's help.
And I can't always depend on my family. I know they've got their own lives. You know what I'm saying? It's come the time where enough is enough. I don't care with what he can help me with, but at this point, I need whatever I can.
All right, Jerome, I'm ready for the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Jarquin versus Burns, when it comes to 4-month-old Myvan Diaz, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Burns, you are the father.
I know now, you know, and I'm gonna treat him and I'm gonna love him. You know, I'm gonna be there for him. As long as she let me.
Marvin's 4 months. The blessing in all of this is that you just got down to the bottom of it early enough. From this point on, he really can grow up never knowing that this transpired and always knowing and understanding where you are as long as you step up the way you say.
Yeah.
But before I go, I must caution you. This was an obvious love triangle. This will just keep happening. And I don't want to see you in this courtroom again denying another baby by this woman or by this woman because you don't have the discipline to grow up and stop making babies everywhere you lay your head. Mr. Diaz, I just commend you for what you've done.